terms.
One more.
Do what?
You were reading.
Another verse of the Holy Quran also speaks of the disgrace of the Israelites, but with some addition. And this is in Surah 3 and verse 112. And disgrace has been stamped over them wherever they are found, unless saved through a rope from Allah or through a rope from men. I want you to keep that in mind, folks, because I really hope I can cover this before the end of the day. They will be saved from a rope from Allah or a rope from men. Keep that in mind. This is a powerful meaning in this. The rope or means from Allah refers to the case of those whom Allah Himself has, through His own commandments, saved from this disgrace. For example, children, women, or those who are totally devoted to prayer and worship and never go to war against Muslims. They are stricken with humility. This is another translation of this verse that I wanted you to see. They are stricken with humility wherever they may be, except when under a covenant of protection from Allah and a covenant from men. They have drawn on themselves the wrath of Allah, and destitution is put over them. This is because they disbelieved in the ayat of Allah and killed the prophets without right. This is because they disobeyed Allah and used to transgress the limits set by Allah. And this was taken from the Noble Quran. If somebody could bring me some water, please. Oh, can't see. All right. The rope, or means from men, refers to a treaty of peace with the Muslims or a permission to live in a Muslim country on payment of the jizya, the tax levied on non-Muslims living in a Muslim country, which exonerates them from military service. Verse 112 in Surah 3 helps elucidate verse 61 in Surah Baqarah, and also dispels the doubt which arises in the minds of the Muslims at the so-called Israeli state imposed on Palestine. They find it difficult to reconcile the two things. The Quran indicates that the Jews will never have a sovereign state. I want you to pay attention, folks. While they have actually usurped Palestine and set up a state of their own, if we go beyond the delusion that the world is painting for us, we know that Israel is not an independent sovereign state, but only a stronghold of Western powers, which they have established in 1942 in the midst of oil country to protect their own interests. Without the backing of these Western superpowers, Israel could not survive. The Israeli state, or should I say the state of apartheid, has been living through a rope from man, and even at that, living as a parasite on Western powers. It is a place where crime against humanity and are committed in the context of an institutional regime of systematic oppression and domination by Zionists, not the people of the book. Radicals over the Palestinians with a commitment and intention to maintain their regime. So there is no occasion to have a misgiving about what the Holy Quran has said on this subject. I wanted to clarify this. And I want to make some recommendations to you to read these books. Some of these books are easy to find. Some of them are almost impossible to find. The first one, The Israeli Lobby, you will find easy. And you will see how the Western powers are sending billions of dollars to the Zionists every year. And you can see how Palestine has shrunk to nothing. The Controversy of Zion. If you can find this book, read it, and if the FBI comes to your house, burn it. Conspiracy of the Six-Pointed Star. The same thing. If you can find it, read it. If the FBI knocks on your door, burn it. I'm serious, folks. But we need to be educated, because there is a Christian movement out there. There are Christian Zionists. And so many people only think when they hear the word Zionist that we're talking about Jews. We're not, folks. You need to know what a Zionist is. And you need to know that Jews are people of the book and we love Jews. And to say anything different means that we are ignorant. But we have to educate ourselves, folks. We have to understand. So I recommend that you read these 3 books, inshallah. Yes?
You might want to mention that you don't normally talk
Let me
about
mention that for those of you who are here the first time, this is probably the first time I have ever gotten political since 2007 in this class. But I feel that it's apropos in the context of the verses that I am teaching you. And it is the only reason I got political. So if I've offended anybody here, I beg you to forgive me. If I've said anything that was right, all the glory is due to Allah. If I've said anything wrong, I accept full responsibility that it came from my arrogance and my ego and my vanity and my pride. And I ask you to pray that if that is the case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive me and shine His light, His nur on me and correct me. But I feel that we need to know this because a lot of times when we're making da'wah out there, we are misrepresenting ourselves and we are speaking things that are contrary to the Quran because we don't know the difference between a Zionist and a Jew. And this is very offensive. And we cannot build bridges unless we know the truth. So I highly recommend these books. Great for you to read and particularly to help you understand the difference. I love you all for the sake of Allah. Inshallah, we'll see you the same place, the same time next week. Allah gives us health and life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.